Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Dentistified. I hope you all are doing good. So this video is an updated version of my previous video on centric relation. I got so many requests on that video to repost it without the background music because many of you were not able to understand it because of the background music. So here's the updated version which has been filmed again with the same content, especially for all of you who requested me for this. So let's begin with this video. So when we are attempting to restore an occlusion or maybe even trying to correct a problematic bite or even reshaping a high restoration without having a precise knowledge about maxillomandibular relationship, we can end up wasting a lot of time, resulting in frustration of both the dentist as well as the patient and unnecessary overtreatment, which is not required, of course. So if we want to ensure the longevity of a dental restoration, we really need to have a clear understanding about certain concepts like centric relation, centric occlusion, maximum intercuspation, plane of occlusion, vertical dimension, neutral zone, anterior guidance, and the list is so long. But in this video, I'll talk about centric relation, centric occlusion and maximum intercuspation. So if you all are interested, then you should continue watching this video. So now we'll just try to understand the concept of centric relation. Centric relation is the most important factor of occlusion. And recording of an accurate centric relation is really significant for the restorative or prosthetic dentistry, which should be cost effective, time effective, and trouble free. So we will just divide the definition of centric relation into small parts, which will make it very easy for you to understand it. So centric relation is the relationship of mandible to maxilla, as you can see in this picture, when the properly aligned condyle disc assemblies are in the superior-most position against their respective eminentiae, as you can see in the picture. And this position of centric relation is irrespective of vertical dimension or tooth position. Means that centric relation is the relationship of mandible to maxilla when the properly aligned condyle disc assemblies are in their superior-most position against their respective eminentiae, irrespective of the tooth position. We will discuss each one of these points separately in further slides. So starting with the first point, that is relationship of mandible to maxilla. Now any variation in the condylar position will change the closing arc of mandibular teeth against the maxillary teeth. Hence the position of condyle disc assembly determines the maxillomandibular relationship during jaw closure. This means that if the position of condyle changes, it will change the closing arc of lower teeth against the upper teeth. So the next point is properly aligned condyle disc assembly. So when the condyle and disc are properly aligned in centric relation, all the loading forces or the compressive forces, they are directed through the avascular and non-innervated structures that were actually designed to accept all the loading forces. Hence, a properly aligned condyle disc assembly can resist maximum loading forces by the elevator muscles with no signs of discomfort. On the other hand, if the condyle disc assembly is not properly aligned, that is, if the disc gets misaligned, all the loading forces, they are directed through highly vascularized and innervated tissues that ultimately respond with pain or discomfort. Therefore, a properly aligned condyle disc assembly will result in no discomfort. However, a poorly aligned condyle disc assembly will result in pain or discomfort. The next point is in the superior-most position of the condyles against their respective eminentiae. So when the condyles are fully seated, the front part of the condyle with the disc in between contacts against the posterior slope of their respective eminentiae. as you can see in this picture. And the reason for advocating the anterior superior position of the condyle disc assembly is that it is the physiologic position of the condyles when the mandible is elevated firmly by the normal muscle function. Now the elevator muscles, they are present distal to the teeth, or what we can say is in between teeth and TMJ or temporomandibular joint, and the contraction of these elevator muscles keep the condyle disc assembly loaded throughout the functional movements. So what we are trying to say is that anterior superior position is considered to be the physiologic position of the condyles. Why? Because the contraction of these elevator muscles keep the condyle disc assembly loaded throughout the functional movements. The point is that centric relation is irrespective of vertical dimension or tooth position. In centric relation, the condyles can rotate on a fixed axis to an opening of about 20 millimeters. But there is this common misconception or a false belief among some clinicians who discredit the use of Facebook recordings and articulators. Why? Because they claim that the vertical dimension cannot be accurately changed on an articulator, which is absolutely wrong. In fact, the truth is that if the condyles are in centric relation, they can rotate on a fixed axis. Hence, a bite record which is made at any point of opening of a correct centric relation arc is still in centric relation. Now, this is really an important point. So therefore, when the casts are mounted on an articulator in centric relation using a Facebook record, the vertical dimension can be increased or decreased without introducing any error. So you really need to understand this thing, that when a bite record is made in centric relation, you can actually increase or decrease vertical dimension as a part of your treatment plan without introducing any error. So basically, centric relation is a jaw position which is physiologically and biomechanically correct, and it is the only jaw position that permits an interference-free occlusion. In short, we can say that centric relation is a bone-to-bone relationship. Centric relation is physiologically and biomechanically correct. Interference-free occlusion can be achieved in centric relation, and it is a bone-to-bone relationship. Next thing is centric occlusion. Now, what is centric occlusion? It is the occlusion of opposing teeth when the mandible is in centric relation. Now, this position may or may not coincide with the intercuspal position. This means that centric occlusion may or may not coincide with maximum intercuspation position. So next is maximum intercuspation position. The complete intercuspation of the opposing teeth, independent of the condylar position, sometimes is referred to as the best fit of the teeth, regardless of the condylar position. It is the tooth-to-tooth relation in maximum contact, whereas centric relation was bone-to-bone relation, as I've already told you in the previous slides. So all the occlusal problems, they begin when there is a mismatch between centric relation and maximum intercuspation position. Now, if this mismatch is minor, then the TMJ or temporomandibular joint adapts itself to maximum intercuspation position, and this posture is what we call as ACP or adapted centric posture. So what we conclude is that if the mismatch between centric relation and maximum intercuspation is minor, then the TMJ or temporomandibular joint is going to adapt itself to adapted centric relation. So yeah, that is it for today. I hope that after watching this video, you will be better able to differentiate between the centric relation, centric occlusion and maximum intercuspation. Stay tuned for the upcoming videos, and thanks for watching. So do like this video and share it with your friends and spread the knowledge, and do hit that notification bell if you want to get notified whenever I'll upload a new video, and I'll see you very soon in my next one. Stay tuned for that.